Hey everyone, welcome back to Dangerous Freedom. Um, as always, I'm your host, Dangerous Freedom. I've got my co-host over here, Moose Man,
Hey everybody.
and we just like to talk about some of the things going on. Maybe discuss a few things. Maybe people in the chat want to talk about. But let me say some hellos really quick. We have Chef. We have Kingpin here. We have Mayor, Foamy to See, 12B Georgia or 12 Bravo just stepped in.
Hey,
And I think we should probably start off the stream with prayers for everybody that was affected by the hurricanes last night.
you mean the tornadoes?
Oh, yeah. Well, tornado
They
storm.
suck worse than hurricanes.
What's that, Patriot? Hey, Crystal. Yeah, the one last night, I couldn't believe how long it lasted. Worst one in over 100 years, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, our thoughts and our prayers go out to everybody affected, all the family, all the first responders that have to deal with it, and medical personnel, and the loss of property is in probably the billions of dollars from
Oh,
last
yeah.
night. And I think, I'm not sure exactly how many people were lost. I heard over 50 so far,
Yeah.
uh, which is horrible.
Well, they're trying to, I know I think for right now, they're trying to keep the number somewhat low-ish. They're guessing at least 50 to 70, but that's a little guess because
Yeah,
after you saw the damage in some of these places, yeah, it's probably much higher. Not what it seems. What's up?
yeah. I feel very fortunate that cold line came by us before it hit the warm line over to the southeast and northeast of us. We didn't get anything here in Oklahoma, but thank you to the people that called to check on me and texted me and stuff. Fred and I did okay. We didn't have any of it here. We could see a lot of the lightning to the east of us over towards the Arkansas lines, less than an hour away, and we could see a lot of the storm east of here last night. But
Uh,
we were fortunate. We were very fortunate.
Not what it seems. Welcome. Good evening, Oddball.
Yeah,
Sharon
Crystal,
Mercier. Good to see you.
and Sharon, Debs, well, B.
So, what was it like in North Carolina, Deb? Did you guys get a lot of rain or anything, or did it just totally pass you by? Hopefully, just pass by.
I know Minnesota got anywhere from 6 to 14 inches of snow. I had friends that had to dig out this morning uh, on the cold side of that front that came through. And there was a lot of snow hit up around New York State.
Yeah, Tally almost did seem biblical, didn't it?
Yeah, if it was biblical, though, it didn't hit far enough to the east. It should have hit over towards D.C.
Right?
Then we would have said biblical.
It was God's wrath.
Yeah.
Got rain from 3 a.m. all night. Thunderstorms, high winds, branches down. Blew a breaker, but it just stopped raining. Okay.
Yeah, Kentucky doesn't usually get a lot of big tornadoes, especially in the area where there's, a lot of mountains and stuff over that way. And, around us flatlanders here in Oklahoma, we're kind of used to it. We've got some hills compared to the mountains I'm used to in Alaska. But yeah, it was a surprise last night, all up along the Tennessee Kentucky border and right on up into Ohio and Illinois and that.
Yeah, Tyler, that would have been a blessing. Yeah, and especially in December. I mean, that's not typical hurricane season, is it? Or I mean, tornado season, is it?
Well, we've been a little bit warmer than usual and drier, and we haven't. The cold fronts haven't hit us because of the way the jet stream has been. And that's what happened is we finally had that line of cold air move in kind of from the northwest there, Colorado and Canada and up through that area. And it moved down and it hit that warm air that was coming up from the south. We've had a southerly flow for the past 3 or 4 days of warm air coming off the Gulf of Mexico. So that's what happened is they smacked together right in a line, and then
Yep,
the cold started pushing it that way. And of course, that's what it's that energy of that cold air and that hot air hitting each other that forms
yep,
your thunderstorm lines. And then what you do is you get the cold air pushing and the warm air rising, and that's when you start getting the hooks of you get the flow and the winds changing, and it forms your twisters. And if Garrett was here, I would tell him no, it wasn't Harp. Harp wasn't
yep.
firing.
What's up,
and
Hawktooth?
a lot of people said, "Oh, it was some government weather control." That was so powerful. Our government doesn't have shit to do with anything like that as far as controlling the kind of weather. It was a normal occurrence when a cold mass line like that, and it was ran all the way from Austin, Texas to the Great Lakes. When it swept across and it hit that warm air coming out of the Gulf of Mexico, I mean, we see it here in Oklahoma and Texas all the time when that cold air comes down and hits. And usually it hits over on the western side of Oklahoma. And that's where we get up near Oklahoma City and Norman and that and Tornado Alley, is that cold hits that warm air. Well, this time the warm air was more to the east and the cold came across and hit it
Right on.
east
Thank
of
you,
us,
Chris.
and that's what caused it. So
Yeah, speaking of which,
we've been up and
everybody,
down. We've been up.
I did have to create a new After Dark channel. Still trying to get it built up here. They struck my other one. I won't be able to use that until like next Tuesday. So if you're looking for me on After Dark, the new channel it's called Dangerous Freedom After Dark. Capitals on each word, and then you'll see the little 3% logo. Looks like that. That's how you could tell if you've got the right channel or not.
Same name.
Same name. Yep. I wanted to try and keep it as simple as possible. Hey, Larry. So you hear what they're trying to do in Michigan? Trying to ban high
High
capacity
capacity
mag.
magazine. Yep. If you're in Michigan, you need to contact your lawmakers and you need to get all your friends and the shooters and everybody else together and start pummeling them with personal opinion messages and phone calls to your representatives and you know tell them in no uncertain terms. Look, it's less than 1/10 of 1% of guns are used in crime. So you're messing with 99.99% of law abiding citizens. And we vote. And we'll be glad to vote your butt out of office if you want to affect our Second Amendment rights. Just
Yeah.
let them know that. But that's the thing. People need to get involved. I hear people sit around whining and complaining. And the first thing I ask them, have you contacted your representative? Have you contacted
Yeah.
your state senators? Well, no. Well, how the hell do they know how you feel if you don't? I contact mine all the time. I send them messages a lot through the gun owners.
Mm-hmm.
They set it up, and we get to tell them, hey,
How's it
Mr.
going, Tom?
Tom,
Hey, gentlemen, how y'all doing this evening?
well,
Not
we're
too
doing.
shabby, man. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I just found your notice. I just woke up, so
Uh,
don't expect a lot of brightness from this end. All right.
Okay.
yeah, same here.
Everybody survived the storm, all right?
So far as
Well,
I
we don't
know,
know.
I haven't gotten any text messages or emails about people getting injured and stuff like that.
Bad times down in Kentucky, man.
Yeah. Still waiting to hear from Chrissy Cat about her son. Her son was lived in Bowling Green, so we're trying to find out about him yet. And
Wow.
Maybe later, chat, Crystal. I don't like to have too many hosts on this stream, but maybe towards the end I'll drop the link out in the chat. For this one, I try and keep it more of a regulated type group.
a well-regulated.
Ugh.
Non-militia, right?
Yeah, I don't even think we hit 70 degrees outside today. It's been chilly.
It was really pretty mild up here. Nowhere near 70, but for the time of year,
We were about 30-mile-an-hour winds and about 50 degrees, so it felt about like in the low 40s today when I was outside. But we had some sunshine, which is nice. So I went out and worked in the shop a little bit, tumbling some brass, and I'm restoring an old antique shotgun, an old Ithaca Flues from the early 1900s that I can't get parts for, so I have to make parts for, and
wow.
putting a new stock on it and stuff. And it's one of the old double barrel Sweet 16s. But I did find the patent. I found the patent for the Flues online. I've got the PDF that has the picture that shows me how things are supposed to work, and it's pretty good. It's some of the parts I'm having to guess and by God as to they don't show them exactly. They show where they go. But anyway, so I'm working on that. Just a few minutes at a time because I've got to keep going here, and even though I'm in pain, I've got to try and just get all. I can't just sit around all the time.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's worse than anything as
What's up,
far
old
as
reliable?
trying to
Good to
heal.
see you.
yep,
You'll lose your strength and all that.
yep.
It rained here all afternoon. I was able to get out get a ton of wood pellets on a trailer and get them home, but I didn't bother opening them up and unloading them. I'll wait for a dry day for that, but at least they're in the yard. So I got them.
Red and I did get up early Friday morning and go shopping because early Friday morning's a good time to go. The store isn't really crowded. They were pretty well stocked up, and we found some good sales on meats and stuff that
Did you?
they had. You know, if they go, the day over the expiration date, they cut the price down below half price. So nothing wrong with it. So we'll go jump on it. And of course, there's a lot of holiday food sales going on right now too, case goods and canned goods and stuff. So we went and got ready for this coming week or so.
Nice.
I'm glad it's calming down. 12:30. I mean that, and you know what? That's right there is the worst part. You know, it was so late at night. A lot of people were already asleep. Maybe there was a lot of people that didn't get the emergency notice. There were people still working. You know, it's like, geez, when you get the alert, you know, you would think they would shut down and send everybody home, or you know, at least to the bar or
You
something.
can't see a tornado coming. You can't see a tornado coming in the dark. You know, that's the bad part.
No, you can't.
Oh, and this thing stayed on the ground
And
for
when it's
a
lightning
couple
in,
hundred
Hours.
miles.
5, 6 hours. I mean, and it was hitting
Yeah.
and didn't get, like, I heard it was setting down 10 different places sometimes at once, and it's like, what in the hell? Yeah, this was something they haven't seen in over 100 years. Hey, what's up, conspiracy? Thank you for that, Deb. By the way, everybody,
it's scary.
that's the new Dangerous Freedom After Dark right there.
Okay.
Oh, you got the new one working now?
Yeah, I got it working last night.
Oh. I'm gonna try to get that. And
You know, the bad part about where I live here in Oklahoma, Tom, is they tell you that um, a tornado sounds like a freight train coming.
I've heard that.
Well, I'll be a son of a gun if every time we get a good thunderstorm here and good lightning and thunderstorm and stuff, I'll hear the train because we live not far from the train tracks, and it seems like the trains always show up in the middle of the storms. So you're kind of puckering until you hear the whistle blow.
I hear that. I've never experienced a tornado.
I have not either. The closest I've seen is a water spout.
I was actually in a company vehicle in Florida on a 4-lane highway, and I was picked up by a tornado, put over the median and into the opposite lanes of traffic.
Wow.
In the middle of a storm by a tornado that I never saw it coming. It came out of the side of where I was driving out near Lakeland, Florida, and it picked me in the van up and set me right over in the oncoming traffic on the other side, and I just went off into the ditch and sit there and clean myself up a bit. Yeah, that was an experience.
I can imagine.
It's crazy.
My wife and son went through what they thought was a tornado. I'm not sure it wasn't a bad wind shear. I was at work 60 miles away, but that was up in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. And on the other side of town from where my house was, a woman got killed. She got caught in this storm. And they said they saw her standing up against a building. And she took off running to try to get to her house. And the wind picked the entire roof up off an outbuilding and just dropped it on her.
Wow.
And she didn't survive that.
Oh boy.
But yeah, man, they said
Yeah.
that we had some pine trees there in the yard, and my wife said they were horizontal. They were just laying over flat. Crazy wind. Weather's dangerous.
A few years back, I went. A few years back, oh boy, I'm free. I don't know. Our stream's freezing up. I don't know if it's my computer or what, but a few years back, I have a friend up near south of Oklahoma City, and I went up to visit him, and he was taking me to the airport to fly back to Alaska. And we went through that Norman area where that big F5 had come through a couple of years before. And you could see it was a half-mile wide swath of devastation. I mean, giant oak trees. You could still see the stumps there that were ripped out of the ground where they had moved, but it was a half-mile wide devastation as far as you could see, and you could see where houses had been, and there was nothing but foundations left, and it was amazing. And it had actually picked up a foot of dirt, and it had just looked like it was plowed in places where it had just removed all the dirt a foot down.
No, it wasn't. That was Arkansas, Eddie James. Yeah, it was a nursing home in we didn't get any part of the storm. We didn't even get rain or wind or anything.
Yeah, AR, not AZ.
Something like that points out how helpless a man is, you know.
Yeah.
When that's coming through, it's not going to be stopped.
No, and not to mention the fact that after this one, I mean, just from some of the drone footage, it's going to take them years and years.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to be one hell of a job now.
I'm still waiting to hear from some friends in Tennessee, but they've got power lines down, and internet and phones, cell towers are down and stuff, and I can't get through to find out how they're doing. But we're praying for everybody over there in Tennessee, Kentucky, and Ohio, Illinois, everywhere that was affected, Arkansas,
Missouri.
So.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to hear from a friend in Tennessee too. I chatted with him last night, and he said things were getting scary down there, and I haven't heard anything from him. So I don't know what's happening.
Hey, good evening, Aaron. Joe Morgan, good to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my life, well, I've been through hurricanes in Florida. I went through Donna in '62, I think it was, as a kid. And been through tornadoes. Like I said, I was picked up by one and seen several in my life. Been through forest fires and a lot of earthquakes in Alaska. And out of all of them, I'll tell you what, I'll take the earthquakes any day. We call them foot massages. I'll take the earthquakes, believe me.
Foot massages, that's good.
I don't like the lightning storms we get here in Oklahoma. That's the one bad thing. There's so much electrical energy here that pops. I still haven't got Red's oven fixed because I can't move it to put the new control board in. But just to strike 50 feet outside the house, it scared the crap out of us. Knocked out the electronic control of her oven.
You figure it takes 10,000 volts to arc across an inch of air, and a lightning bolt can be 2-3 miles long.
Mm-hmm.
There's power there, man.
Oh, we busted some fact checkers on Facebook.
How's that?
Hammered us about a photo. They hammered us about a photo of a diesel generator charging station for electric cars.
All
And we
right.
hammered them about it on there, and they come back and told us that we were wrong, that it was not a diesel generator, it was not a diesel fired charging station, but in the background you can see the exhaust stack and a little flapper on top that they put on diesel engines. You can see it on the generator right there, and we busted them. They lied, and we busted the fact checkers and told them, how do you explain the exhaust pipe?
Did you get an answer?
So, no,
Okay.
but we've been hammering on about it. Told them their fact checkers were basement dwellers that didn't know an exhaust stack from a water hose.
Well, there have been posts floating around on Facebook the last day or so and true or not, take it for what it's costing you right now. But they finally had to come out and admit that their fact checkers are no more than opinion expressors.
Right.
So I don't know whether that's true or not. Granddad used to say, if it's a lie, you got to
Their
just as
fact
cheap as
checkers
I
are
do.
basement dwellers that, yeah, their fact checkers are basement dwellers that couldn't change oil in the car or change a bicycle tire.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're talking about. So,
Oh, they've come back and
yeah,
corrected me on stuff that I knew damn well was true. What do you can't argue with them. What do you do?
yeah.
This ain't 2012. I see a
And
crack
one of the
open.
funniest pictures, one of the funniest pictures I've seen, Tom, is all those electric car charging stations they got. Looks like speakers set up at the old drive-in movies where they got all these charging stations set up,
Yeah.
and the whole thing is underwater.
Right.
Now that could get real interesting, grabbing a
Well, it gets
plug and
sketchy.
plugging in while you're standing in 6 inches of water.
No doubt.
Yeah. These people are crazy.
Oh, yeah. And another one, and I don't even remember what they had to say about it, but they've got one where it shows a bunch of cars stuck in a blizzard. And you imagine being in an electric car, the heat has to run off that battery. There's nothing else to produce heat in the
You
car.
got no heat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, a bunch of them
The
stuck in
guy
a
that
traffic jam, batteries are going to start going dead. It's going to happen.
Yep. The guy that took me to Dallas took me in a Prius, and it's hot. And running the air conditioner, the battery on that Prius would not keep up with the charge with just the air conditioner running.
Oh, I'm sure. And I guess the
And
air
that takes,
conditioning runs off the little electric motor that powers the car, right? It's
Hey,
not
Keno.
separate motors.
What's up, Crystal Keith?
yeah.
I don't know anything about them. I've never seen one.
Yep. Well, I seen the new video that came out of what it's going to take to change all this stuff over to electric cars and
Oh man,
make the batteries and everything else. And the amount of land that they've got to strip and mine, and the amount of fossil fuels it's going to take to get all the elements and stuff, and what it's going to take to even bring us up to 30% electric is mind-boggling at the destruction it will do to this planet if
Yeah.
they try to do this green energy bullcrap.
Oh, yeah.
oh no,
Oh, it's going to
not
cost a
to
lot
mention.
more than it's going to save. There's no doubt.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep. Yep.
It's not
What
even
it takes
worth
to
it.
mine the lithium and all that, and of course Obama shut down our lead mines in the United States. There's no lead mines operating in the United States anymore.
Oh, really?
All our lead comes from other places, yeah. And then you've got all this other cadmium and stuff being mined by these little poor black children that are expendable in Africa, and it's killing them.
Oh yeah.
So they can make $2 a day, but they don't have child labor laws. So you know, where's Black Lives Matter if your relatives over in Africa are being used as slave labor and dying to make electric vehicles for the rich and famous? Why aren't you over there fighting for other people's lives? You know, is it just Americans' Black Lives Matter? No, it's everybody's lives matter. Come on. But that's just one of my pet peeves, is here we've got all this crap going on all over the world, and we're one of the best countries there is, and nobody's happy living here. I am, but
I am too.
I'm pretty happy.
You don't hear me complaining at all.
yep, yep.
The only time I complain is when they start infringing on my rights.
That's it. I'm still watching Ukraine to see what's going to pop off there, and I guess Biden and Putin have had a few talks, but Biden hasn't sent any troops to Ukraine yet. So,
I think he's scared too, man.
Mm-hmm.
yep. And I guess one of our commercial airliners or something was threatened by the Chinese verbally over the radio.
Oh, is that right? I hadn't heard that.
Over near Taiwan airspace, yeah. And it was a commercial airliner, and the Chinese were threatening to shoot it down. They thought it was some kind of military airliner. What's batteries cost for a Tesla? I think they're around $10,000 to $15,000. Oh, and if they catch on fire, you have to lift the car up and stand it on end to put the fire out because the battery's up underneath the bottom of it. So if it catches fire, you can kiss that car goodbye.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. And with all the plastic, all you're going to have.
I guess over in France, they got a junkyard of beautiful electric cars that are all just sitting because the batteries are dead,
Mm-hmm.
and it costs more for the batteries than it does to replace the car.
Yep.
And they're not even recycling them because a lot of that stuff is not recyclable. So they've just got these junkyards full of what looks like brand new cars. Can't go nowhere.
Well, how long do those batteries last?
Dead. Well, like okay, I watch some automotive guys, and usually a lifespan on those is give or take about 20 years for a Prius before the batteries start going bad. And I mean, you could have them go into the battery bank and change out, refurbish one or two or whatever, but even that is so costly. So like at that point, it's better to just get rid of the car and get a new one.
Yep. You said they last 20 years?
Yeah, that's about the lifespan of them, yeah.
Well, then they're photographs.
They were only supposed to last 10. They were only supposed to last 10 years, actually.
Well, even at 10, they ain't been out that long for junkyards to be full of them.
Hey, Annie.
Yeah, well, there's a bunch of them. I mean, Aaron was telling me, AV Lawns was telling me up there in New York before all this gas crunch, you could buy one of those that had where the batteries were only about 50 or 65% because it's still got a gas engine. You can drive it.
Oh, it does.
But you can buy one of those Priuses cheap. And then we had all this computer chip shortage and the gas prices started going up. So they went up in price too, but you could still buy a Prius with a bad battery and it'll run.
And still run it. Okay.
The gas engine.
It's probably
but it's these all electric ones ain't gonna run.
No.
I saw a guy with an electric lawnmower and he had his wife pushing a wheelbarrow with a generator behind him with an extension cord so he can mow the grass.
I don't think my wife would put up with that. I don't think so.
No.
She's pretty patient, but nah. Good evening, Annie.
There is a funny YouTube video I saw about a guy that his battery went dead or something on the freeway, so he pulled over and some other people pulled up to help him, and he said he needed gasoline. And they walked over and started laughing at him. Ah, you got an electric car, you don't need gasoline. He said, I need gasoline. And he popped the trunk and he had a little
Yeah,
generator in the
yeah,
back,
yeah,
but he
yeah. He's
didn't have
got a
any
generator
gasoline
with
for the
the cord on
generator.
it.
That's crazy.
Jeremy, good to see you, brother. No, I got my After Dark channel. The only problem is, by the time it came up, there was only like 27 people that were subbed to it. Oh, there you go. Northern Deb got it in the chat there for you. What's up, Phoenix? Good to see you. Yeah, so I'll be streaming over there for at least the weekend. Yeah, I see. That's just it. Even if we try to go to all electric, all these semis that are hauling, all these loads back and forth. I mean, how's that supposed to affect those people? You know what I mean?
Oh, they're going electric semis too, haven't you heard?
I can't imagine how that's going to work.
It's gonna go over like a lead balloon.
There you go. What's up, Militant?
What is the charge time on these batteries opposed to the run time?
I'm hearing from 3 to 5 hours to fully charge, and then some of them have maybe up to a 400-mile range.
Huh.
That's just not practical for a truck.
Now, that can change if you're driving in mountainous country and that
Oh,
too. And
sure.
what about, I've been through areas of the United States and through Canada that I had to carry extra gas with me because there wasn't no gas stations. And if you're not in a real economical vehicle and you're pulling the load and you're only getting about 15 miles to the gallon, you best have you some extra
Right on,
gas to get to the next fuel station.
Yeah, I kind of figured that one out too, Militant. Oh man, I hate this. It's so freaking cold in here, and I don't want to run any kind of heat. Because,
Cold
like
in
I said,
Arizona? Come on, man. Come on, man.
I know,
That's
right? Just
Arizona.
throw on
You're
more
supposed to
clothes.
be in the
Well,
you're in the desert.
that's why I have my long sleeve shirt right back here in case I get that cold.
Just grab you a bottle of hot sauce and take you a couple of swigs. You'll warm right up from the inside out. Old Alaska trick. Yeah, in New York, Aaron's saying it was 72 today and it's dropped to 31 degrees right now.
Yeah.
He had a few inches of snow the other day, not much.
72 in New York. That's warm. We'd have got pretty warm here if it hadn't been for the clouds and rain, because it was warm anyway. If the sun had been out, it would have been nice.
What's up, GBA? Hey, George Washington. Good to see you.
Well, hello, George. Never thought I'd say that.
Got up to 84. Wow. Yeah, we barely made it up to 70, but I don't think we broke 68 degrees inside my house.
Did you get your ductwork dried out?
Um, honestly, I haven't been down there to check it out. I'm almost afraid to.
I don't know. That's water may have run out of there. I don't know whether that stuff's solid the whole run or not. I don't believe it is. It's probably got seams in it where the water leaked out.
Well, I know they've got clamps like where they go over all the duct works that come up into the house, but it's all the flex tubing in between from there.
Ah, that's right. You've probably got
And
one of
no,
those package units where your heat and cooling's all outside.
Yeah,
yeah,
Okay.
heat
All
pump
right.
and air conditioner. Yeah, that's what we've got. Yeah. And Crystal Keith, I had to bust your bubble, dear, but HARP hasn't fired off in 2 years. It's been shut down. The government actually, Obama defunded that program, and HARP isn't firing. It's shut down. It's under the control of the University of Alaska Fairbanks. They're not running it because they can't afford the 40 gallons a minute diesel fuel that those four big locomotive engines run. So HARP has been shut down. There's nothing operating. It hasn't operated for 2 years. And if it does fire up, I'll let you know because I'm still on the notification list. Uh, yeah, HARP isn't working. Make sure Garrett knows that too.
yeah,
Yeah, Harp got blamed for that snowstorm
Uh,
in Texas last winter.
yeah, yeah. I remember that. And I'm surprised that they haven't tried to blame it on it this time, but
yeah, yeah. I'll tell you what. If I could control the weather with four diesel locomotive engines like that, I would find a way of getting about 10 of them, and I would point it all at Washington D.C.
Change it every day
Trust
and
me.
make it extreme.
Yeah.
well, I mean, it's like you got to prep to your environment. So right now, is it chilly? Yeah, it's chilly, but I could throw on more clothes and stuff like that and stay decently warm.
See
So
what people don't realize is we're in solar cycle 25. We are we're going up now toward the peak in the next 3 4 years. There'll be a peak of solar cycle 25. We've got sunspots. We've got more solar energy hitting us. We've also got all these earthquakes and volcanoes happening because of solar cycle 25 and the waves that we're getting hit from the sun. Now we've got the volcanoes. We've got over, I think we're probably over 50 now that are active, that are spewing stuff into our upper atmosphere that are actually going to cause some cooler temperatures in the long run over the winter. But right now, we're seeing some warming. It's unseasonably a little warmer than it has been because of the ocean currents and the way that the jet stream has moved due to the Pacific Ocean. Now, when things change, though, we're going to see a little cooler winter come the end of December and January and February because of all this ash in the upper atmosphere that's going to be blocking some of the sunlight. So, but we're going to have more earthquakes. We're going to have more volcanic activity. We're going to have excellent radio propagation. Even sometimes during the daytime, you will be able to get shortwave stations from all over the world that you've never been able to hear until night when the D layer of the ionosphere goes away. So these are things to look for, but it happens every 11 years, and some solar cycles are
Okay.
bigger than other ones. This one's going to be a pretty good solar cycle. So we had the guy on from down at Pensacola, Florida, was talking about the skip on the CB radios. it's opening up. It's when that D layer is affected and it doesn't absorb the radio signals, the E layer takes over and becomes reflective, and that's when you start getting all these radio signals from all over the globe now can be heard. So it's just something to be aware of if you study earth sciences and physics. This is what is occurring now, and this is why we're getting more earthquakes, and there'll be a lot of smaller ones, and they'll be happening all over the planet.
Yeah, Crystal Keith. Yeah, he's talking
Ham
like
radio
ham
too,
radio.
Crystal.
Yeah, ham radio too.
Yes,
Like
ham radios. There'll be skip on
I've heard in
CB,
the past.
DX
I've heard
on
in the
ham.
past you can bounce between the layers and reach all the way to like Europe and UK and stuff, which is crazy. That's a long way for a signal to travel.
Yeah.
I just wish I could get me somebody down here that wanted to work and make some cash money for a few days and help me out, because I've got an antenna tower that needs to go up, an antenna needs to be put up. I got firewood that needs to be cut and stacked. I can't do this stuff right now with all these surgeries, and nobody wants to work. And all my good friends that were worth a shit are either are pretty much all dead or worthless.
What's up, Kathy?
Trouble is,
All right, Phoenix.
buffering again. Too many people around southeast Oklahoma where I live. I've been trying to get. I think one of the closest ones is Brian over in Durant, Oklahoma, that comes on here, and but there's not many people over here in southeast Oklahoma where I live, that or North Texas in this area, that I can get to come work. So
It's the same here, man. You can't, and if you do get anybody, usually the only reason they're coming around is to spy out what they can steal from you later. That's the sad fact of it.
Hey, welcome, Top Spin. Ronnie.
I'm a little ways from Lake Texoma. I'm just north of Paris, Texas, about 35 minutes in Choctaw County, Oklahoma, and I'm about 45 minutes west of Idabel, if that tells you. I'm over near Hugo Lake. About an hour and a half from Denison, Texas.
It's like me. I'm about half an hour from Phoenix. Depending on what part you're in. Phoenix is huge.
Oh, Crystal, your son goes to Paris every weekend? Okay. Yeah. Like I said, I'm just, if you come right up 271 to by the Indian Casino up to Highway 70 and make a right, I'm not very far from there. And I had 20 deer in my yard this morning. My trigger finger was sitting there going like this, and I can't get one.
TJ, I don't know if you'd want to do that now. Phoenix, I mean, it's safer than LA. I mean, that's pretty bad when one of the sheriff's advisors had to come out and say, look, if you're planning on coming to LA for holidays, don't. We can't keep your ass safe.
I saw
That's
that.
pretty messed up.
But yet you better not have anything to protect yourself.
Exactly. Yep, they want you to be a sitting duck. And that's not how I roll.
Oh, and in other firearms news, I guess for the month of November, we had another record-breaking NICS check of people buying firearms.
Is that right? Good.
So I don't know if they're new people or just people buying guns all the time, but I'm thinking a lot more people now are seeing the light about the crime, and a lot of police departments are understaffed now. A lot of police are in the bigger cities are quitting, um, and people are starting to realize that they're going to have to be responsible for themselves. And so, uh, good for you.
Well, God bless America because they dumbed down the population too much, and I mean, it's taken something as bad as what's going on right now to make other states, like we've had what, 5 states flip in the last year or two to constitutional carry. So I mean, and I have a feeling we're going to see more. Give it time, folks. I know that Florida, DeSantis said, was it a week or two ago, that if the legislation comes across his desk, he'll sign it. So then Florida would be constitutional carry as well. The only problem with that, though, is a lot of these states, when they add the constitutional carry, they'll put in little clauses, except for this, or, with exceptions. And, you know, an exception to me is it's an infringement. Okay. So it's like when you read the Second Amendment, it doesn't say shall not be infringed, comma, but in this case, or there is no but after that. It's a period. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Period.
I'll not be infringed.
I mean, so simplistically.
And it's the only one that says that. It's the only one that says that, and they keep trying to infringe on it every time they with 20,000 crazy ass laws.
30,000, I thought.
Hey, Top Spin, good to see you, my grill master.
Oh wow, cool, Top Spin. What's up, Patrick Lee?
And Patrick Lee, I don't know if you know it, but I was born and raised in Florida. Florida is a great place to be from.
As far away from as possible, right?
Even back in the 80s, I used to have a shirt that said, "Will the last American leaving Miami please bring the flag?"
Hey, Catherine. And that's true. As long as we have guns, they don't have control. They like to think they do, but they know deep down they don't. I mean, I like that one. What is it? I think it was "Brainwashed," the song that Tom McDonald did. where he's all like, they try and keep us divided because they know if we ever unite, we'll go against them.
Catherine, I didn't mean any offense by that. I was just making a joke.
Arizona or Florida man got his name for a reason. This is true, militant.
Oh, and I guess down in Florida, there in Grady Judd territory, they had a guy stole a trailer with a skid steer on it from the city of Lakeland and drove south to Mulberry, which is about 10 miles away. And one of his lieutenant female deputies caught up with the guy and was trying to get him out of the truck, to arrest him or whatever. And a fight ensued, and there was a knife there, and the guy went to grab it, and she pulled her gun and shot him in the hip, and he took off, and she jumped out the vehicle when he took off with her trying to get it. Anyway, he circled the block and came back and surrendered to her because he was bleeding to death. They also caught 4 more child pornography people that were actually making pornography, child porn, and
Yeah.
pictures, and doing
God.
videos and stuff. And
Yeah.
young,
I do love the way. I do love the way that he is not lenient on those fucking assholes at all. That is just such a degenerate thing.
See, that's like I said, that's where I'm from, and Grady Judd, when I was at the sheriff's department as a young man, Grady Judd was one of the youngest guys from Monroe Brandon to sign off on. He still has he still uses the same desk that else have used since Monroe Brandon bought that desk back in the 60s.
Huh.
Oh, and then they had a home invasion. Some black guys went and did a home invasion. It was a couple and 5 children, and they crashed the door. They had guns. They pistol whipped the adults looking for drugs and money, and then realized they were at the wrong house.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Well, they got the getaway driver. They're looking for the other ones, but they got one of the getaway drivers was actually it was he was employed, had a job, and everything else. I guess I'm not sure if it was for the city of Lakeland or whatever, but yeah, they robbed the wrong house and
all right, Catherine.
Scared 5 kids and everything else. So, but they got one of them, and they got a big reward out for the other ones. But he ain't talking. But Grady Judd says that's all right.
And, and
you don't have to talk. We'll get them.
Yeah, that's just it. It's like even down here in Arizona, a lot of the cop detective work comes from relying on other people's sources. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Citizens have to be willing to help.
Yeah. Now, see, I like Arizona because down here it's like if they shoot at you, you shoot back. You can disable their car, disable them, and you normally you won't even get a charge.
Take care, Catherine.
Yep.
Have a great evening.
Do you guys have that? I think it's called NCAA insurance to cover you if you get into a scrape with a handgun.
NCA.
National Carry Association of America or something, I think it's called.
I don't know. I there for a while. I kept
Oh,
up with
U.S.
my.
CCA or
Yeah, maybe that's right.
I had USCCA for a while, but I've had it for like 3 years, and I mean, it's nice they send me magazines, but other than that, it's like I don't know. It was like $30 a month, and right
Yeah,
now
it's
it's
expensive.
not. Right now, it's like I don't have that kind of extra cash. But what we do have is really good standard ground laws, really good castle doctrine laws, and stuff like that. So, like we was a couple months ago, when all the restaurants had to set up certain areas outside so people could sit and eat. There was a drive-by shooting. Well, as the shooting took place, they ended up shooting like 3 or 4 kids.
Oh,
I
wow.
don't know if any of them died, but at least one of the people out there was armed, shot back. You know what I mean? So, and as I don't know, I never heard about anything more about that case. I don't know if they ever caught the drive-by shooter or anything.
there's another one too now that through Palmetto State Armory, a similar type of insurance
It's up in
program,
Luciano.
like USCCA, and it's on Palmetto Armory's website. And I don't know. They probably have something to do with the insurance company. They were even offering $40 off if you joined, or a free AR-15 lower. Uh,
Hmm.
Wow.
so I don't have no insurance like that. My insurance is my weapon, and I figure
Yeah,
it this way,
yeah.
it's
And
going to be justified.
not to mention that most of us, we know when we're justified using it. And like
Yeah,
with Kyle Rittenhouse, he was out there putting a situation in fear for his life, and he used his weapon, and he used it well, thank God. And you know, better to be tried by 12 than carried by 6, right?
Well, true.
right, right.
But,
But I'm
even
kind of
though,
mad at Kyle for destroying that weapon. There was no need to destroy the weapon, Kyle. I'm kind of upset
Yeah,
at that. That
oh,
weapon,
did he
you
destroy it?
could have got a lot of money at auction for that weapon as
yeah.
a historical piece.
He's basically told the sheriffs or whatever, the police, who's ever holding it in evidence, just go ahead and destroy it.
Wow.
That's just bullcrap. You don't destroy a tool because you used it.
Yep, I
I can
agree.
sort of see the emotion there.
Like we Tom and I think had this conversation. It's like, me personally, if that was the case, I think that I would probably keep it, hang it up above a mantle, in my brand new mansion, after I get all that money from CNN and all these media outlets, and maybe even Biden. I don't know if he can go after Biden directly, but still, he's gonna have enough money to where, he could be set for life. But from what I understand, he's still planning on coming down to ASU in the spring and doing his studies.
I heard that.
Yeah, that way, when you have great grandkids, and they come over to visit and they see that rifle sitting up there and they ask you, Grandpa, why do you keep that rifle up there? You never use it. Well, son, I have had to use it before, and it saved your grandpa's life. I wouldn't be talking to you right. You wouldn't be here right now if it
Right.
wasn't for that rifle. That's how I would look at it. But
Yep.
I can also see on the other side. Well, I had to take some people's lives with it, and so no, I don't want. I can kind of see both sides of the angle. Just I fall on one side, whereas he fell on the other. Doesn't mean I hold
But
anything
that's the
against.
whole thing. That's the whole thing about carrying a weapon. You have to be willing to take someone else's life under justified circumstances. The same as, people think cops are bad. No police officer I ever met wanted to ever have to shoot anybody. They always try and talk them down first. The weapon is the last resort. But,
Hmm.
you know,
Yep.
nobody that I know of gets up and says, okay, I want to go see how many people I can kill today on the job. It don't happen like that. We don't want to kill people.
Yeah,
Nobody wants to. But the fact of the matter is, if you're forced into it and you have to be prepared to mentally deal with taking another person's life. I've come close. I've come damn close to killing somebody several times. Um, I've killed more grizzly bears and moose, though, I'll be honest with you, and I didn't regret that a bit. They ate good right next to the mashed taters and gravy. So, yeah, uh, Aaron put up a post at the local store he went to. They had a 8.8 pound rib roast, and the price on it was $247.
wow.
I'd have had to sit there and watch it just to see if somebody was stupid enough to buy it, or wait till it went out of date and get it for
Yep.
a cheaper
For
price.
$47.
They're going to wait a
Two
long
hundred
time before I
forty-seven
buy
dollars
it.
for an 8.8 pound rib roast. Yeah. When I heard that they've finished up all the witnesses in that Ghislaine Maxwell case.
Prosecution finished, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah,
And they didn't bring up a quarter of the shit they could have.
no,
Well,
I
I think
was
that
kind of,
there's a lot of
I
reasons
was,
they held that thing privately.
I was kind of surprised to find out that the airline pilot testified that they gave Donald Trump a ride on his plane from New York down to Mar-a-Lago when his plane was being worked on. His jet had a compressor out or something, and he offered him a ride down to Mar-a-Lago. I never did. He never did say that Donald Trump went to the island.
No.
That was all. That was a miss. That was some bullcrap that came out of nowhere. But he did say that Clinton did
Hmm.
numerous times with young girls on board the plane. So yeah, okay.
Now, I would guess Maxwell will probably walk in exchange
Depending
for her
on
$5 million.
what kind of evidence she gives up, what kind of names.
I'm kind of surprised she hasn't committed suicide myself, but
Well,
Yeah, right.
that's Arkansas,
Hmm.
yeah. And then what we got? Jesse Smollett. I want to see how many years he's going to get for 4 or 5 felonies he was convicted of. Yeah, Jesse.
Juicy Smolier. Mary,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'll be
he'll
right back,
probably,
man. Bear
yeah,
with me a minute.
Mary, he'll probably get, yeah, like some kind of community service, pay out huge fines.
You shouldn't get it for that many felonies.
I don't know, man. Some of the stuff that he pulled, man, faking a hate crime. Um,
Yep.
I don't know, man. But we'll have to wait and see. You know, there were a lot of people that didn't think that Kyle was gonna walk. You know,
Yep.
but you know the jury came through, man. So that it just goes to show there are people that aren't just totally biased and will listen to the facts.
Yep. And boy, are people calling out old Alec Baldwin about his bull crap about him not firing that pistol.
Oh
Showed
yeah,
videos and everybody brought out their same pistols and showed that, hey, Baldwin, you're lying. You're full of crap. So for lying, you should get extra time.
this is true. You know, and as long as he's been playing, working with guns, yeah, this was a pointless accident. Um, Granted, I think he got a little bit too complacent on that scene. So, I mean, do I think he intentionally did it? I don't think he did, but it's still an accidental negligent, or it's still negligent on his part.
Well, now I don't know if it's true or not, but somebody came out and said that there was word that on the set from some of the people that were on the set that worked there that he had actually threatened both of those people a few days before. He told them he was going to kill them. And so I don't know how true that is, but that was some word out there on Twitter from some of the hands that worked on the set. So either way, it's a tragedy for the people that got injured and lost their lives.
Yeah,
And if they let these rich people go because they got money when they commit injustice, you're not doing justice. And you're making it worse for people who can't afford an attorney that may be innocent.
no, jeez, top spin.
Top Spin will probably be happy to go grill him some foot longs, won't you, Top Spin?
That's true, Mayor. Money does talk. I remember one time I was up on a charge that it was after they started the whole three strikes thing, but at the same time the crime was so profound that they were like, no three strikes, you're gonna get 7 to 10 years. And so my mom had to max out like 2 or 3 credit cards to get a lawyer. And man, luckily the lawyer we got was really good. He was a former judge, been an attorney for a long time. And after he found out all the facts of how not only the sheriff's department treated me, like when they decided to do a mid morning raid, early morning raid on the place I was staying. They came in with a fucking like a SWAT team, pointing guns all over the house and at my two kids, my wife, and they're sound asleep on the bed. I'm up playing video games, and they just grabbed me and hauled me off. And it's like, you guys knew I lived here. You could have sent me a letter saying, hey, we need you to come in so we can discuss this or that. But they didn't do any of that. I mean, they just considered me a felon before I was even convicted. So, I mean, because of that, and not to mention other witnesses that were actually at the property when this whole thing happened, that were saying, no, this was not on him. I mean, there's things called this thing called renter's rights. So if you rent a piece of, say it's a shed off to the side, but it's livable, and they pay you $200 a month to live there. It's like what they do on the weekends is on them. I just, well, I didn't realize that he liked to do weekend meth. So,
Um, hello, Mac the Knife, another New Yorker here. Good to see you. Yeah, too bad you don't have a Learjet on floats there, Aaron. You could fire up, fly down here, land on the lake over here. I'll come get you. You can come in my yard, shoot you a couple of deer, gut them out, throw them on the Learjet, and fly back home and be there in time for supper. I got a target rich environment here.
You know, there's 3 deer right in my front yard last night. I told you about the little doe that was injured a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
She was out there last night, so she survived. She's still limping, but she survived whatever happened to her.
I've seen three-legged deer, one get shot in the leg and lose a leg actually, and I've seen three-legged deer. And of course, you know, when hunting season comes around, especially if it's a doe, we'll try and take her out of the herd just
Right.
because she is more of a liability for predators and stuff.
No doubt.
Yeah, taking stuff them tenderloins and wrap them in bacon and my. We're eating good in the neighborhood. Well, there's a lot of bull crap going on about trying to stop hunters from using lead ammunition now.
oh,
There's some, I think it's in coordination with PETA and some of them other ones. And now they're trying to say that this bald eagle died that was caught in a trap for 10 days, uh, and it died of lead poisoning.
From a trap?
Total made up bull crap. Yeah, it had been in a trap and flying around with a trap and that, but it died of lead poisoning.
All those lead
Anyway,
jaws on those traps are hell,
NSS,
man.
yep, the National Shooting Sports Foundation did a counterattack on them because they went and had the science done to prove that hunters that use leaded ammunition actually have lower levels of lead in their system than do people that eat at fast food restaurants,
Is that a
etc.
fact?
There is no sign that shooting animals with lead causes any lead poisoning or any of that bullcrap that they're trying to fly on us. So, but they're trying to outlaw conventional ammunition because they want to outlaw hunting. These animal do-gooders think that if we outlaw hunting, it'll be just great for the animals. Well, they don't realize you have to maintain the herds to an acceptable population, or they will eat themselves out of house and home and either starve or get chronic wasting disease, interbreeding too much, mutations, whatever the case may be. You've got to manage these animals, and that's why people that buy hunting licenses and guns and ammunition, we put more into conservation in the
Finance.
millions and millions
Yep.
of dollars every year
Yep. What do you
than
think? All
any
those
of these
permits?
do-gooders. So yeah, and Pittman Robertson Act that helps build shooting ranges and do wetlands conservation and that. That's because of us hunters. That ain't because of you animal rights people out there. Go buy your hamburger in the grocery store where no animals were harmed.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Pablito? Crystal, thank you. Yeah, for sharing that link out. Everybody, my new After Dark channel. Pablo, I want to hunt with rifle
They're
and
actually
bayonet.
giving 2 extra doe tags this year for the Christmas hunt here in Oklahoma. We've got way too many does for the buck population, and they want to thin the does down so we have stronger herds. So during the holiday hunt season, they're giving you can get two more doe tags to take does to thin the herd down. So if you filled like all 6 deer you're allowed, you can still get 2 extra deer. So you can get a total of 8 deer in some of the management areas here in Oklahoma. We're eat up with deer. Cars are smacking them. We're eat up with hogs too. Cars are smacking the hogs near here too.
Were those hogs introduced?
No, they escaped and come across the river from Texas. They're wild. They've been spreading all over the South.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
They
our
make
DNR here.
good breakfast sausage. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah, our DNR here has reintroduced elk to the state of West Virginia, and right now, of course, they're down south. But you imagine a car hitting a 1,200-pound elk?
Oh, good grief.
You know, this ain't no 150-pound
We've
whitetail.
got elk in there. We've got elk here in Oklahoma too, and kind of western Oklahoma and northwestern Oklahoma has elk. So
Now, you know, I can see having them on preserves so people can see them, but we don't need elk on the highways here in West Virginia. We don't need it. And the guys that want to hunt them, let them go.
well, I hope they don't put up them elk crossing signs.
Yeah.
They don't put up them elk crossing signs to keep them off the highway.
Yeah, make them all
Yeah.
cross in one spot so people know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Arizona AV. Yeah, if you got an elk in front of you, speed up.
That's what I do like about Oklahoma. You can hunt your own land here. I can kill deer. I don't even need a hunting license. I've got a lifetime license now, being that I'm over 65. So, lifetime hunting, fishing, and trap license.
Yeah,
Wow.
same here. I can hunt and fish my own land with no license. I don't even think I have to check them in. Maybe have to check a deer in, but I don't have to have a license to kill them.
You guys want to hold the chat for a minute? I gotta go handle something.
Sure, man. I got one of the nicest trout streams in the state flowing literally right through my backyard. I don't have to have a license to fish that either, as long as I'm on my own property.
The hell happened to my picture?
Yeah, oddball. That anything that happens, they're going to blame it on the climate change. I read a very interesting article about a week ago. Somewhere out in Greenland or northeast Canada, somewhere, I don't remember exactly where, but there's a snowpack up there. And it has melted away to the point where they found artifacts. This was kind of like a mountain pass that people used. And the dates, the stuff that they found dated from, I think they said 300 AD to 700 AD, somewhere in there. And they found leather moccasins that people had made and wool clothing that had been discarded as people were going through this mountain pass. And then it got covered by a snowpack. And they stressed that no, this is not a glacier, because a glacier would have ground all this stuff to dust. But it was covered with a snowpack. And now the snowpack has melted away and they're finding all this stuff. And I had to laugh. They were talking to one of the guys that was actually on this archaeological survey. And he said, you know, the find is exciting, but what is so sad is the fact that the climate has changed to the point where we're able to find this stuff. And I'm thinking, well, did these people dig down through the snow and put this stuff at the bottom of the snowpack? Or was the climate such that there was no snow there when the stuff was put there? But it's a shame the climate's changed to the point where they've been able to find this shit. It just blows my mind.
You know,
They don't even think they're bullshit through before they start spouting.
no, I mean, I think there's evidence that that we've had an ice age. I mean, all over the world.
Well, of course. And we've had tropical age all over the world too. Ron, where do you think the coal underneath the state of West Virginia came from? Ancient swamps, tropical climates.
Yeah.
And it changed. And it's going to keep changing, brother. It don't matter what the Paris Climate Accord says. It's going to keep changing.
The climate changes every day. That's why we got weathermen.
Yeah.
You know, when I was in Alaska, we would climb up to the top and find tropical fossils.
Exactly.
Just like in Siberia, they find the mammoths that are frozen with tropical plants still in their mouth, and they go in there and they tunnel in and get these mammoths to get the ivory tusks out, because they're very valuable now since they stopped elephant ivory import and stuff like that. So mammoth ivory isn't covered under that act, but it's very valuable ivory. But it proves that this whole planet was a greenhouse at one time. We were covered with water vapor. That's why the dinosaurs and all the plants existed, and everything grew so big, is because the whole earth was a greenhouse.
Yep.
And if you believe in the flood of Noah's day, it was that water canopy that broke that caused the changes that we have now. But you know, we had an ice age 10,000 years ago. It warmed up before man even started to think about doing an industrial age, just the past 200 years.
Absolutely.
And if you're going to try and tell me that man has caused it, I got news for you. You're full of crap.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, there's a if you follow the money, you will find out that only the scientists that are claiming all this global warming and climate change are the ones that are receiving funding that
Mm-hmm.
got on board the train. If you're not on that train and you're a true climatologist and you're bucking them, you're not getting the money. So it's all about money, and money is corrupting the whole system when they're not telling us the truth. And the more CO2 we get, the faster plants will grow and put out more oxygen for us. That means trees will grow faster, which are renewable resources. You know, I know pot growers have been pumping CO2 into their grow rooms for years because they can accelerate their growth of their plants by 25% by putting more CO2 in their rooms. So, yeah, like I said, I still point out if Al Gore believed that the oceans were rising, he wouldn't have bought a mansion on a beach in Hawaii.
Exactly. And
That
Obama
would be
wouldn't have spent
that would be
$12 million
stupid.
on that place in Martha's Vineyard, right on the ocean. No.
Right,
Yep.
right, exactly. So, yeah, it's just, and it amazes me at how many people can't see the truth when it's staring them right in the face. You know, and then you look at that Greta Thunberg or whatever her
Oh,
name is. She's a high school kid. She don't know nothing about the climate. Yet she's up talking to the United Nations. All the while, I find out her father is dealing in carbon credits and making millions of dollars by using this poor girl as a tool. It's child abuse, as far as I'm concerned. While his family, her family, is sitting back making millions by preaching this bull crap to
Yep.
make money.
Yep. Oh yeah,
It's
she's
a,
just
it's
repeating the script.
yeah. And if you look at the Bible says God will destroy those who are destroying the earth. So those are the people. You know, it's God's job to take care of it. It ain't our job. It's God's job. Will destroy people who are destroying the earth. And
Yeah.
if they keep going with this green bull crap, they're going to be destroying more of our earth than you can imagine. Wilderness areas that are untouched are going to be strip mined for what they need to build this stuff that's not even recyclable. That's going to fill up our landfills, and it'll never go away.
No, it won't. It won't. It doesn't deteriorate. The only thing they can do is bury it, and it's there forever.
yep.
Yep, those windmill turbines. Oh, and they talk about killing animals. Those wind generators kill on the average of 150,000 birds a year or more. And they say if they put up the wind generators they want to, it will kill millions, millions,
Well, that's brilliant.
millions of birds. To be they're bird blenders.
Yeah. I mean, I've been through California where they have all those generators all lined up. You know what I mean? The little solar farm they got out there by Silicon Valley. And I mean, I was just like, really? How much power are they really creating from these things?
Well, the thing is, the ones they have here, and you can drive. Oh, I can drive an hour in two or three different directions, and you'll see ridges with these things just all along the top of the ridge line. And hell, they don't even keep the power local. It goes onto a grid and gets used somewhere else.
Yep.
They looked at putting them in Alaska and then realized they freeze up and they ice and snow. They can't put them in the northern climates.
Yep.
And solar panels get covered with ice and snow, and they don't work either.
Right.
So what, we've got, our other options are fossil fuels or nuclear.
Yep.
Well, then you got all these greenies that, oh, we can't have nuclear. Oh my God, we're all going to be glowing in the dark. Bull crap. More bull crap.
Well, I don't know. We've had that Palo Verde nuclear plant down here for how long, Moose? 35 years, something like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, granted, it's not even near a body of water. Like seriously, they use
Florida.
They use recycled water from one of the towns close by and clean it because it's sewage water. It's all the excrement.
I was in Florida when they built Crystal River nuclear power plant there in Crystal River, there on the Gulf of Mexico side of Florida. It's been operating safely all these years.
Hey, thank you very much.
All those regenerate in the ground. They're finding all these wells they pumped out are filling back up with oil, and there ain't been no dinosaurs for how many thousands or millions of years. The earth makes oil. It's pressure and bacteria and stuff. So, yeah, we're not going to run out of oil. We're going to run out of barrels.
Researchers discovered that the oil underground regenerates. This proves we may never run out. Huh? I don't know. Does it regenerate?
It's an interesting theory. I don't know either.
Yep.
I mean,
the oil wells are filling back up that were drained. Yep.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, they discovered that in Texas and Oklahoma. Wells that they pumped out are filling back up with oil. Well, where's it coming from? It's coming because the ground is making more oil.
Huh. Interesting.
If God hadn't want us to use it, He wouldn't have put it here for us.
You got a point.
I agree with that. Just like I agree with marijuana too.
I talked to a lady one time that was hired to go out and pick up dead birds under.
Uh-oh. Moose, you still there? Uh-oh. There he comes. All right. You want to try repeating that?
Oops, enter that burp.
So you knew a lady that she got paid to pick up dead birds?
Yeah, she was hired to go out under these wind mill farms and pick up dead birds to hide the fact that they were killing birds on a daily basis. And I'm talking eagles and vultures and doves and migratory birds, ducks, and everything that these windmills were killing. Uh-oh, we got a spammer in the...
Yeah, I see it.
In
I can't get
chat. You guys handle that son of a bitch.
I can't pull it up.
Always got to be somebody out there, huh?
Always got to be an asshole out there in the world, got nothing better to do. Go back to your basement dweller and play with yourself there and troll.
It's funny.
No
The
trolls,
messages won't
moles, or
come up on my.
assholes allowed on this channel.
Hmm.
Yeah, Link, I agree with that. Yeah, but we don't want to use our oil when we can, use other people's stuff. Let them run out first. What's up, Lenny? Wow. Huh. Got quiet all of a sudden. Yeah, Link, I'm okay. It's kind of chilly over here. Got a bit of a stiff back.
Does it feel damp in your house, man? Do you have a dehumidifier? I guess you wouldn't out there. You wouldn't have any use for it normally, would you?
No, not normally. We stay well under like 20% humidity down here, except when it's raining. At
Yeah.
that point, that kind of goes out the window. But yeah, Lenny, yeah, that's actually how we started off the stream. Was prayers going out to all of the people in that path of those horrible tornadoes last night. Moose, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. My internet's going up and down more than a new bride's pajamas.
Well, we have been on for almost 2 hours, I suppose. Oh, jeez, top spin. I suppose we could go ahead and call this one a wrap. It's been, like I said, almost 2 hours. Um, and if you didn't get the link for my new After Dark, see if I can put it back in there one more time here. Yeah, see, my new channel only has like 49 subs. Kind of sad, but
Oh, Link 700. I hope your family's all right. Mayville was hit hard last night.
Very hard.
Our prayers go out to you there, Link 700.
I heard the governor of Kentucky on a news conference earlier, and he said they really don't have any idea how many bodies they may find yet. There's still so many people missing that
yeah,
they got no idea
I
what.
know right now I noticed that they're trying to keep the numbers kind of low, like 50 to 100. But like
Yeah,
honestly, I think deep down, even they know it's going to be way higher than that.
I think so.
I think, yeah, between all the states that were hit, all the areas that were devastated. Yeah, between the 5 states. Anyways, everybody, that is that link in the chat I just posted right there. That is my new Dangerous Freedom After Dark channel. Oh no, somebody was posting something. No, Mayor, not yet. Okay.
Yep. Spread the word to everybody about the new channel so we can get our numbers back up.
Yeah, we're at 49 right now. Yeah. It sucks when they strike you. And I still don't know why I got a strike on that other one. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. Everybody, I want to thank you very much for coming and joining us tonight. Like I said, keep the hurricane, the tornado victims in your prayers, and yeah, give me about an hour or so, and I'll fire up my After Dark and see if we can't bring a few new subs in.
I'll look for you, man. And I appreciate the invite this afternoon.
Not a problem, Tom. It's always a
All
pleasure
right.
having you on, brother.
Thank you, sir. It was good to wake up with you.
Moose Man, you got any final words there, brother?
Yeah, thank everybody for showing up tonight. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you aren't already. And let's pray for everybody that was affected last night. And let's pray for our country. Keep our faith in God strong, though. And we love you guys and everybody out there. And thank you for all your thoughts and prayers about me as well. And we'll catch you guys on After Dark.
Yeah,
Always good to see you,
I'll
Moose.
tell you what I'll do is after I end the stream, I'll go back into the description and I'll put in the link for my new After Dark. So that way, if you're having a hard time finding me, you can just follow the link from the description of this video to find the new channel. All right, everybody. On that note, y'all stay safe.
Put up a notice. Put up a notice. Put up a notice too early because that way it'll show up on YouTube that you're going to go live. But you need to put it like an hour ahead of time if you can.
You think so?
Wouldn't hurt, man.
I don't know. That's a lot of dedication. I'll think about it. All right. I'll catch you all in a little bit. All right, everybody.
Bye-bye.